Hello, everyone. Amanda Williams, MD, MPH, here with you today. And I want to talk specifically about stress. And a lot of people are stressed out for a lot of different reasons. We can look at issues such as the time change. This, for many people, can certainly drive up your stress level. But we can also look at what's going on in our world, big elections. We also have issues with cold and flu season blending with the pandemic that we are still dealing with. So there are a lot of reasons as to why people are feeling a heightened state of stress. And the key thing is trying to know how to actually manage that stress and what you should be doing to really help with your mental stability at this time. So there's a variety of different ways in which you can approach this. If you notice that your sleep is disrupted, if you feel like you're lacking energy throughout the day, maybe at the end of the day you feel like your muscles feel tense or tight, or maybe you feel like you have a slight headache. These are all signs that your body is under stress. So, how do we address that? What is it that we can be doing? Well, first, we want to make sure that we're eating the right foods. We definitely want to make sure that the foods that we are taking in every day are really nourishing us at a cellular level. So, having fruits and vegetables, this can certainly help. We know that those powerful antioxidants that we get from our foods can really help to neutralize a lot of those toxins that build up from the onset of stress. So, we have that is one aspect, but then we can look at things like magnesium. For many people, we know that magnesium deficiency can be very, very common. So we want to make sure that we incorporate magnesium into our daily routine. So even if that's coming via taking a multivitamin, that's one way to get some exposure to magnesium, but it would certainly be advantageous to be taking a additional magnesium supplementation. And you can achieve this through many different means. We have magnesium citrate, we also have magnesium glycinate. For many people, they will choose the glycinated form to really target issues with muscle relaxation. So this is certainly an option. Now, citrate, also very wonderful option, and the magnesium citrate helps with the absorption rate. Works a little bit faster, but for those who maybe have issues with loose stool on a regular basis, number one, check your diet. But number two, maybe the magnesium citrate isn't your best choice. So it kind of just depends on what your overall needs are. But we do know that magnesium can be very, very supportive when it comes to managing the stress response. Because remember, magnesium is not just working in the setting of the skeletal muscle relaxation, it is also helping when we think about things like insulin sensitivity. And this can be a driving force if we are under a lot of stress, we're having excess cortisol being released. This can actually become problematic. So, having magnesium on board can help to adjust that instability, we shall call it. But we can also look at things such as L-theanine. Now, this is really, really cool. This is a amino acid that is derived from green tea. And we know that L-theanine, based off of clinical research studies, it helps to support the natural release of GABA. So GABA is a very important neurotransmitter that produces a calming effect in our body. So this is why L-theanine can be very beneficial. And oftentimes people will say, well, how many should I take? And our L-theanine capsules are 100 milligrams per capsule. So I would advise, generally speaking, start off with one and say a few hours later, if you're still feeling a little edgy, then you go ahead and take another. For some folks, they may find taking two L-theanine capsules at the same time really provides the most support. But there are many different options out there. We can look at adrenal serine, for example, which is a really nice blend of adrenal glandulars along with things such as ashwagandha, so adrenal adaptogenic herbs. We can look at rhodiola. So say maybe you're dragging a little bit, you know you're stressed, all these things going on in your world, and you feel like you're lacking energy. Then we want to turn to rhodiola, which we know helps to offset that negative impact that cortisol brings on, but it also helps do another very important thing, which is drive up cellular energy. So at a cellular level, it's helping for the generation of ATP or adenosine triphosphate. So rhodiola, very good option. How much should you take? Our capsules are 200 milligrams per cap. So I generally would advise taking one capsule in the morning, maybe between breakfast and lunch. And then if you still are not feeling like yourself, maybe take another one in the afternoon. Once again, this is kind of one of those nutrients where you may find taking two capsules at the same time generates the most support for you. But these are things that you can certainly make adjustments to. So we've talked about magnesium, the importance of magnesium to allow us to feel a little bit more relaxed. We've talked about L-theanine, talked about rhodiola, the adrenal serine, that's that lovely blend. But we can also look at other nutrients. We can look at things like phosphatidylserine, mind synergy, for example. This is another great way to give a lot of comprehensive support to the way that our brain is perceiving stress. And so, stress comes in a couple of different forms. We have the physiological response, and then we have our perceived response of stress as well. So, there are different ways that we can do modifications. We can look at our energy packets, for example. This is also a really nice way to address stress in the body because it has the ginseng in it, but it also has that rhodiola. So we're giving that adrenal gland the support that it needs in terms of proper cortisol release, but we are also helping once again for that cellular energy production. Now, say for example, you're struggling with stress and it's impacting your sleep, then we can look at incorporating in nutrients such as melatonin in the evening. Maybe melatonin with a magnesium glycinate about a half an hour before you go to bed. This may allow for you to have a more restful night's sleep and allows the brain itself to get that needed, much needed rest when we are under periods of stress. So, a lot of different ways that we can approach and manage stress. Obviously, there are a lot of things that are out of our control when it comes to our environment, but there are many things that we can do within our control that can give us a substantial amount of support. So, think about a few of those things: magnesium, L-theanine can be your friend. Rhodiola certainly can be your friend. We can look at phosphatidylserine. That's another one that we know is very, very beneficial. That very important essential fatty acid that the brain requires, but it's actually utilized throughout the body. But we know that this can also help in that HPA axis. So when we talk about the hypothalamus and the adrenal gland and the pituitary, all of that can really get kind of stirred up and off balance when we are stressed out. We know that phosphatidylserine can help to mitigate a lot of that imbalance. So there's many different options out there when it comes to addressing your stress. But I know many folks are feeling stressed out right now. So I don't want you to feel like you are alone. Certainly reach out to one of our nutritional experts at any of our store locations, and they will be there to give you that guidance, to give you that helping hand as to what nutrients will be most supportive for your particular needs. So that is all that I have for you for today. I will be back in a few more days to talk about more wonderful nutrients available at Invite Health. Thank you.